Alright, it's about that time, you know. Time for the legendary table talk, as me call it. Welcome everyone, Sandra J here, and welcome back to the channel. For the most part, I mean, the title speaks for itself. Attack on Titan Shingeki no Kyojin, episodes 14 and 15. So, yeah, as you may or may not know, I recently got into Attack on Titan, probably like a month ago. So, yeah. So, I was planning to react to this episode last week, but obviously, most of you would have heard what happened in Japan to put off the entirety of the episode from being shown. So, since 15 is out now as well, I'll be reacting to both of them. So hey, and of course I do know the manga is coming to an end in about what, 2.5 2 weeks, give or take. Chapter 139. I did do my reaction to that, well, to chapter 138 earlier this month, so you can definitely check out that live stream, which is available on the channel. So yeah, but yo, it's time for the table talk. Yo.
理由があったわけじゃない。あんたたちの大切な仲間を殺したのは私。監視を石でめった打ちにしたのも私。ファルコは違うから。殺すのは私だけで。
I think at this point, persons who hate Gabby may or may not be just feeling sorry for her at this point. People have literally memed this scene to death at this point. I still find it funny that this episode is called Savagery because Eren, honestly. Keep your bombas hands on the table. It's always fun to see how far Eren is coming from season 1. And Gabby just there, just like losing her mind. For the sake of anime owners, I don't think I'll be going in depth with any elaborate explanations because I already know what's gonna happen because I read the manga. So yeah, for the sake of anime onlys. Those who are free just like livestock. Here it is, the line. I've hated you, Box. Yo. Honestly, I want to see anime only person's reaction to this scene because, trust me. Yeah, stop the foolishness. Yeah. Stop the Nah, you would imagine back from season 1, this was going to have like shadow. I remember when I was first reading this chapter, I was like, yo, Eren is really just Commander Erwin, the goats, the greatest. Man say, yo, cuttings right now. How about the foolishness? But you know, like looking back on this, like I don't know what Zeke expected, because if he used the whole suicide charge by Erwin and everybody else as an example, why wouldn't he think that Levi would be able to just kill his subordinates like this? Yo, the OST. Yo. Yo. Yeah, what's this? Yeah. Hmm. Yo, Beyblading. Yo, the voice actor for Zeke really went to. You can hear the frustration. And then this OST. I'm gonna turn this off. Levi. Yeah, exactly. Why did you think you wouldn't be able to kill them? Yeah. Ooh. Thunder spirit up. Ah, that was an awesome scene, not lying. Yo, that must be rough for Shadis, honestly, because from his involvement with Grisha till now, and I don't know. Yo, Flock has stepped up to main character territory. Shinzo Sasagaya! Just chilling by the window, no pressure. Shit. Mm. Alright, flashback time. Alright, here we are, the second to the last, the second to last episode of Attack on Titan season 4, the final season. Hopefully, once we get done with episode 16, they'll announce Attack on Titan season 4, the final season, the final. No, but seriously, I really want to see. I really hope that we get an announcement for the next half. Hopefully, we're getting a next half. I don't see why not. Of the final season. Hopefully by I don't know September. So at least to give Studio Mappa enough time to actually animate, because honestly, the remaining portions of the story that still needs to be adapted. I'm telling you, anime onlys, you're not ready for the madness. No spoilers, no spoilers. Don't worry, don't worry, no spoilers. So yeah, but anyway, let's see what this episode has to offer. It should be the Zeke flashback. So another piece of the puzzle that is the amazing Attack on Titan story. So let's get into it.
朝早くにお客さんかい。また出直したしや。いえ、我々はもう帰ります。
What's with this one? Let's look like. Seriously, dog.
私たちは外出許可を取っているのですよ。俺はこの塔の清掃員で汚れを落とすのが仕事だ。
Like, it makes you wonder, right? Like, for us here in the Caribbean who had like a history of slavery, and that's not to say, of course, there was slavery before like even that, that 400 period of slavery here in the Caribbean. But it makes you wonder if, on a real world perspective, if slavery was a thing for us here for, like, say, instead of, like, say 400, like, say, I don't know, say 1500, 1600 years instead of the 400, how would relations between people of different races, like blacks and whites, how would that be affected? Like, in the grand scheme of things, would people operate more so like the people in Attack on Titan, who have like such a intense prejudice that it's so, or intense fear that it's so unreasonable in terms of how they treat aliens? I don't know. Hopefully you understand what I'm saying. Food for thought.
わかった。人がいっぱい死んだんでしょ。
Like, it's really rough because, like, Zeke never had like a chance to do like anything else with his life.
マーレ人にひどいことをしたから、僕たちはここで償わなくちゃいけないって。
But it's like just a product of the environment, honestly. It's rough, honestly, dog.
今度は猫の家の本を読んであげましょうね。やった。
This is kind of like, to me, just showing that it's important to let your children like have a childhood, honestly, but or at least just establish great relations with your son or daughter, honestly. It's very crucial. But I'm trying not to give spoilers here.
ジークか。
今日は早く終わったんだ。だから。
おお、そうか。じゃあたくさん勉強できるな。本業は巨人学の研究者だ。
Tom Sava.
君の名前は？
I was kind of expecting his name to be pronounced like Xavier or something like that.
どうも君は筋がいいな。
Jano is like the precious, fun, the one little youth, honestly. Guys, you see, this is why Eren Kruger told Grisha when he was going to the walls that he needs to, love somebody in the walls, else things are going to repeat. Shit.
戦争じゃからきしの役立たずだ。だが、巨人の神秘の前に憎しみや争いもくだらないよ。
I feel like Xavier and Hanji would get on really well.
私たちは似た者同士で、この世界じゃ珍しいまともな者同士なのさ。
Chano, no sense of compassion in Grisha's face at all, brother. Ugh.
お母さん、もう危ないことはしないで。みんなの未来のための戦いだって言ったでしょ。そのためなら、僕はフェイおばさんみたいになって。
Shit, no, don't bring up Faye, brother.
そもそもフェイが殺されたのは、この世界が狂っているからだ。もう誰もフェイのような目に合わせないためには戦わなくてはいけない。強いエルディアをマーレから取り返し、当たり前の権利を勝ち取るんだ。
No, so Grisha's one weakness is Faye, honestly.
君を愛さなかった。ジーク、君は悪くない。
But it's funny because in the grand scheme of things, this all worked out for the best with Zeke selling them out, because probably if he didn't, they would have all died and then we wouldn't have gotten the story. Oh, Annie! She doesn't look okay though. See, you know, the euthanization plan.
私がエルディア人だと知った妻は自分と息子の喉を裂いてしまう。
No, extreme, bro.
贅沢な自殺の方法に飛びついたに過ぎない。だがこの13年間は巨人の研究に没頭し、何か
And here comes the father obsession.
今は行方不明で医者をやってたと聞きました。なんてことだ。あの父親は生きていた。
And of course they explain the come and rescue you line.
その子たちが生きていれば始祖の巨人は王家の手に渡り、不戦のちぎりに縛られたまま俺たち壁内人類は真珠を
Yeah, they'd pretty much be probably dead by now, honestly.
俺たちを生かした。そうか、その日を迎えるまで進み続け
Keep moving forward, bro. Till all my enemies are destroyed.
その通りだ。やろう。固い握手でも交わしたいところだが、まあ今俺たちの
This is the part like when I read the manga and I thinking back on it, they could have just done the plan here, honestly, but eh.
必ずみんなを救ってあげよう。
But there's more to it than that, and I understand why they probably didn't go ahead with it here right now.
唯一の救い。見せてくれよ。
The Levi fans start to worry. I don't think that was a bad session. I don't remember. I don't really record double episodes that often, but it is what it is. So that was episode 14 and 15 for Attack on Titan, the final season. For now, I'll label it part 1. We only have one more episode left before the season ends, and hopefully we'll be getting part 2 sooner rather than later. Hopefully not be like a 2-year, 3-year thing, because need to see the madness unfold in animated form with the remaining, I believe, 23 chapters that they'll have to adapt. But for the most part, in terms of these episodes, like, it's like again and again, like, especially when you're, I think you grew up when, like a person like me that grew up on a lot of shonen, like your Dragon Ball, your Yu Hakusho, your Rurouni Kenshin, etc., etc. It's always refreshing, and it's just fun to see when it comes down to Attack on Titan, where you can see that, like, we didn't even really get much action in the grand scheme of things when it comes on to those 2 episodes, but honestly, it's like Attack on Titan has long since become that show where you don't necessarily need action. It's like the character drama, the interactions, the motivations, and what drives the characters, the whole product of your environment kind of setup, the whole thing where I wouldn't say things are morally gray, but there's no clear-cut bad guys. Just, you know, everybody has made some pretty messed up choices at each end of the spectrum, honestly. So it's like, yo, you're really invested, honestly. And it's episodes like these that really help to showcase and shine through the brilliance that is Attack on Titan, because yo, it's good. Because especially I think even with episode 15 there with Zeke, where like even if you hated Zeke before, is like, no, you get like this flashback that adds another layer to your perception of Zeke as well, and just understanding where he is coming from and empathizing with the struggles he's had to go through since he was a child through to now. And not only that, it also ties up the lines or stuff from season 3 when we had the flashback with Grisha when he got to the wall, and when Eren Kruger said like, yo, be sure to love somebody in the walls, essentially, else things are kind of doomed to repeat. And that was obviously in reference back to the fact that Zeke basically sold them out. And of course, even through that flashback, we got Grisha saying like he wasn't a good father, etc., 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 etc. So it all kind of comes full circle in that, when it comes on to that, at least. So yeah, it's just all beautiful at the end of the day, because Jano, it's really like a product of the environment kind of thing. The theme of parenting and just relationships between, you know, parent and child, and what it means to genuinely, you know, love your children, or at least let your children be children, what the importance of that is, even in this situation where the environment probably isn't as conducive to that based on what Grisha is going through. We know the Fae card is his weak spot, his kryptonite, and it's been his driving force even before coming to the island. So yeah. But honestly, it's funny because as I was saying during the reaction section, like when it comes on to Zeke and them selling him selling out Grisha and Dinah, it kind of works out for the best because if it's funny because if Grisha actually loved or played his role as a father the way he should have with Zeke, things wouldn't like persons would have figured out they would have figured out things that they were Eldian restorationists essentially from early on, and basically the whole family would have died, and then Eren Kruger now would have had to, I don't know, allow somebody else to actually take up that role of going to the island and etc etc, and the story would have been completely different than what we got now. So yeah, it's interesting to see. Of course, we had the Levi Zeke action, which is honestly a running it might as well be a running gag at this point. I'm just seeing Levi go in and the frustration with Zeke. That was funny, honestly. Of course, the legendary table talk and Eren. I know some persons are skeptical and in terms of if Eren is telling the truth, if what he's saying, if he means what he says, etc. etc. And I'm not gonna say yes or no, honestly, because again, for the sake of anime only, I don't want to spoil. But if I'm being honest, it's hard to really doubt Eren. It's hard to doubt Eren if I'm being honest, because based on how Eren's been acting since the start of season 4. So if he's telling the truth or if he's not telling the truth in terms of the table talk, then honestly you're gonna have to wait until the next part of the season, whenever that is. So yeah, it is what it is. But I think these episodes really help to shine through why Attack on Titan is such a brilliant series, from the the action scenes that we did get, the OSTs, the characters, where they're coming from, the themes that shine through. Like, it's just all beautiful, honestly. And it's just a cherry on top to know that you don't really need some over-the-top superficial fight scenes for you to be invested in what's happening at this point, if you've made it this far into the story, if you ask me. So it is what it is. So I think I've said enough. Probably if I go on, I'm going to start dishing out spoilers. So it is what it is. Thanks for tuning in. Hope you guys are having a great week. This should be going up on Monday or worst case Tuesday. That thing that I drank earlier was kind of like was coming up there. So yeah, respect for tuning in. If you made this far, be sure to leave a like if you enjoyed my reaction and thoughts on these 2 episodes of Attack on Titan. And if you want to hear or see me react to the final episode of this part of the season and my thoughts on it, then definitely look out, or let me know in the comment section, essentially. So yeah, but anyway, see you guys in the next Shingeki no Kyojin.